because Gen Z isn't using Google. Like, they search on Instagram, they search on TikTok. Like, they're on YouTube. Welcome to Duo On Air, where we help you get seen, remembered, and wildly obsessed over by your audience. We're your hosts, Abby
and Courtney, a pair of ex-agency besties who ditched the cubicles, the Minneapolis skyways, and the corporate jargon for work that matters, with people who inspire us every day. Today, we're a women-powered marketing agency serving brands worldwide, bringing those big agency results without the corporate price tag.
Around here, it's all about what actually grows your business: branding, SEO, websites, and navigating the real-life ups and downs of building a dream while raising tiny humans. We're moms, wives, and best friend business partners in the trenches with you, making the hard stuff feel easy and a whole lot more fun.
So pour a fresh cup, get comfy, because you're exactly where you need to be.
Let's duo this. Welcome back to the Duo On Air podcast. This is episode number 205, and it's the first of the year where we're going to break down what's new in the world of SEO. And by we, I mean both of us. Courtney is going to talk all about what's new.
No. We literally, like, as she was introing this episode, I was like, I'm going to be honest with our listeners that anytime we do one that's specifically SEO, I sit here and I'm like, what do you want me to say?
I'm going to make you a test before our next one, and then
let's be honest, you won't, because we write our podcast notes right before we do them.
We do.
But anytime we do SEO, you guys, I just sit here and I'm like, Abby, what am I gonna say in this episode? I think it's gonna be just
she always knows way more than she thinks when we get into this.
But I feel like you do the same with design stuff too, or you just like know how to like fake it. Like you're really good.
Because remember the agency days where they didn't let designers sometimes come to crap, and then I had to do it.
So you had to present it.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Should I
where...
have you present some brand stuff to one of our clients? Should we swapsies one day? Oh my gosh.
Well,
no.
Our
clients would hate that.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Abby's like, here's your logo. What do you think?
It was made in this tool.
It was made in Paint. Microsoft Paint. Oh my gosh, you guys, does that even still exist?
I think so. I think it does.
Oh, too funny.
Okay, anyways, well, we are going to talk a lot about SEO, what's happening, and anytime we talk about SEO moving forward, like if you are like, okay, but what about AI and what about GEO? It's all encompassed in SEO. Like, we are going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about what's happening online. We're going to talk about what's new in the early days of 2026. And how this kind of, we do this monthly. So every single month I hop on with our SEO membership crew and I share what's new and what's happening. And then we have Q&A time. We have like troubleshooting time for our people inside the membership. And this is specifically for other SEO service providers or copywriters or web designers or agency people, whoever is kind of offering SEO to their clients. So it's kind of a very exclusive crew that I join and chat with each month. And it's one of my favorite meetings and I love it. I love getting to talk to everyone and also just getting to hear what's going on in their world with their clients and how I can help and where they're getting stuck and all of that different stuff. So it's a really fun crew, but it's also very exclusive. So the only people that are allowed to join this membership have to have learned from us first. So sometimes they're past group coaching students, they might be past clients, they might be people we've partnered with, or now a lot of these folks are coming in because they've taken the SEO on Tap course that's specific for SEO service providers. So that's where we kind of teach you how to incorporate SEO authentically into your offerings, not just say you offer SEO, but actually offer real SEO that moves the needle. But then the membership gives you, like, I know a lot of people are nervous, like, oh, I want to offer SEO to my clients. I want to include deeper understanding or like actually feel confident with saying I offer SEO on my websites or in my copywriting. And a lot of times the confidence is what we're lacking. And that's where it's like, you have me in your back pocket so that if you actually get stuck and you're like, am I doing this right? You can just ask. So that's kind of how we spend these meetings. But this is some of the stuff that I shared with them just a couple weeks ago in our January meeting. And I'm going to bring it to you guys so that you guys can get a kind of sneak peek of like what's happening behind the scenes, what's going on in the world of SEO, because you are likely not following it as deep as I am.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So let's talk about the first thing, which is Google having its own algorithm updates. So Google is just like Instagram, like they have their own algorithm behind the scenes that is constantly making updates and making changes. So there's two types of updates that happen. One is like these big core updates that people like to, specifically like SEO gurus and the big people out there on Reddit, like to talk about and freak out about how everything's changing overnight.
And how SEO is just going to blow up and you have to
Yes.
change everything and you have to hire them and they're going to do
Right.
all these things in the back end of your business that you just don't even know.
Or they just get mad that their old crap content isn't working anymore.
There we go. Yes, there we go.
So there's big core updates that happen a few times a year, and then there's smaller ongoing updates that you just don't really know are happening because they're constantly updating them in the behind the scenes. So this is always happening. Like, this is the job at Google, is that they're always making sure their algorithm is working.
So what is a core algorithm update then?
Yes. So the big ones, the big core updates. So these ones are where Google takes a step back and really reevaluates how their content is working and where it deserves to sit on a Google search page. So they base this on quality of the content written, the words in there, the relevance of the content, like, is this still relevant? Is it outdated? Is it important? And then how well it's actually answering the question from searchers, which likely is looking at a lot of the performance of, did people click through and stay? Did they click through and bounce? Like, different things like that with the engagement of how people are actually navigating.
So how often do these big core algorithm updates happen?
So these ones happen about 3 to 4 times a year. They don't announce it. There's not a schedule. You don't know when it's happening, which is why people love to freak out about it. Like, oh,
so
my
after
goodness.
it happens is when they're like, boom, we just dropped it.
Yes.
And then everybody freaks out.
Yes. Yeah. And people make assumptions, which I'll talk about in a little bit, because search volatility is something that can kind of tell you that an update is happening. So people will make assumptions and talk about it all the time. So they're suspecting something's happening or did happen in January, but hasn't officially been announced. But the last confirmed update was in December. So again, they do it a few times a year. Sometimes they're back to back.
I was just going to ask, do they sprinkle them? Like, is it one each quarter or is it just very random?
It kind of seems like it's one each quarter. Like, when you look back at like the schedule, like, you can just do Google algorithm updates, calendar, whatever, history or something like that. And so you'll kind of see them be sprinkled in throughout the year. But I do remember, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, there was like November, December, like they did them back to back, which is interesting. And again, it's not like they share, here's what we focused on this time. Like, people just make assumptions based on what changed within what industries and what people are talking about. And there's like, this is people's full-time job at SEO, journal companies. And so it's something that people just make assumptions on, but Google doesn't actually come out. Like, Google doesn't have an Adam Mosseri coming out on Reels saying, here's what we did, here's what we updated, here's new things. Like, they do have a head of search that he does frequently do podcasts and answer questions and talk about different things.
But it's just not popping up casually like Adam does.
Yeah, it's not like, here's what the core algorithm update did this time.
And what questions do you have for me? Because I have so many questions from Adam anytime he does that.
Yeah, right. I know. So, and I would say a common misconception during these updates is that Google is penalizing you. So I also love that if you can hear the sirens in the background, it's like, misconception. Here's the myth.
I'm looking at Abby like, are we going to stop? Or we just rolled with it. That's great.
You probably can't hear it because mics are pretty dang good, but there are a lot of sirens today. So this is like a watch out. But the misconception is that Google is looking to penalize people. And that's what the updates are about. The updates are about penalizing people who are breaking the rules and doing bad things.
That's what people think.
Yeah.
That Google's just out to
get them.
Wow.
I mean, I will say, like, a lot of traditional SEO people feel that way right now anyways, just because of how much the world has changed.
Yeah.
Like, SEO is dead. That's why you see those headlines.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not about that. It's about reevaluating the content to make sure that the best content is being showed. At the end of the day, Google's a business.
They want you to use Google and get the results that you're looking for.
And they have insane pressure right now because Gen Z isn't using Google. Like, they search on Instagram. They search on TikTok. Like, they're on YouTube. Like, Google search is not a number one priority for the younger generations like it is for millennials and our generation.
Older.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure to make sure that they can keep
that they're
Google
relevant.
alive. Yeah, that they're relevant. So making sure the content that's showing up is actually serving the searchers is what they're focused on. They're not focused on just going out and penalizing people. So basically, if Google is trying to basically refine its content, understand the good content, and it's not out there looking for reasons to punish you, even though you might feel like that. That's not what's happening.
So how do we prepare for these updates?
You just keep doing what you always do, which I know is like the most annoying answer ever. But you can't prepare because, one, they don't tell you when they happen. And two, like, you also, as long as you are just maintaining and doing authentic, ethical, content and creating stuff for the online space, you're going to be just fine. So create good quality content that your audience actually wants to read.
Which is what it's always been about.
Yeah, always, forever and ever. You should be building authority and trust. So that's like working with other people, getting backlinks, showing up on podcasts, getting news features. It's PR. It's making sure that that trust and authority out there is thriving. It's getting reviews and putting them on your Google business profile.
Because these are the things that Google is always going to reward and always going to have. It's not, they're not going to shift away from quality content that people are searching for.
1,000%. And then it's keeping your content fresh. So it's making sure that you don't have outdated crap content out there, and it's keeping your stuff fresh. So it's not really going to be about preparing for an update. It's just continue doing what you're doing and maintaining the quality that you want to have your website.
So I'm kind of curious about this next section here. So Google announced recently that it's exploring ways for sites to opt out of Google using their content for AI generative search features such as AI mode, AI overviews, all of those things. So basically this would be telling Google, you can still crawl my website, but don't use my content to generate AI summaries. And I'm just very curious what all of this means.
Yeah, so this isn't, to be clear, this isn't live yet. Like, you can't go opt out right now. But basically what this means is that you're going to lose you would opt out specifically. You would say, I do not want to be featured in the AI generated answers that show up on the top of Google. And I only want to show up in the classic old blue link visibility down the page after the AI overviews. So there are a lot of businesses that want this. Like, there are a lot of businesses that hate AI generated answers, AI overviews, everything like that. And the reason why is because, one, they're seeing traffic loss. They're seeing huge impression increases, but click loss. And that's because people are reading the answers on the search page without actually clicking through.
Which I'm guilty of.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get a strong AI overview, I take it and I go with it, you know?
Which it depends on the content too, of
True. Do you need to dive deeper, or is it a quick, here, I can give you your answer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is this a piece of content that you are like looking to build a connection or have your users take action, then yeah, that can be frustrating to lose a click. But like, there's so much content out there where it's like, I just want a quick answer on like, how long does it take to cook a hard-boiled egg?
Right. Like, oh my gosh, I think I literally just Googled that the other day. You're like in my brain. That's funny.
I love it.
Actually, it wasn't a hard-boiled egg. It was an over easy egg. I was like, how long should you actually?
Okay, that's hilarious.
Because I'm not a cooker.
I love you. You're so funny. Over easy egg. How long?
And they said like 3 seconds.
I mean,
crap
you just
like
look
that.
at it.
Remember when I told you I didn't feel good the other day? I thought it was because of my egg, my over easy egg that I Googled how long should be cooked before.
You should see it. I'm going to start screenshotting our messages about food and cooking, and that's going to be a reel in the future.
That's actually a great one. We could have a whole podcast episode on it.
I love it.
It's hilarious.
I love it. So that's number one. Number two is content ownership. So basically, people are frustrated with how AI is choosing to deliver the content because AI is repackaging it. So you have less ownership in how that content is being portrayed because the things that those AI overviews are pulling out is a single sentence. It's not your entire paragraph. And pulling one single sentence out of an entire blog post can be
Misleading.
Misleading. Thank you.
Yeah, misleading. Yeah,
There's
because you're
word.
not getting all of it. You're just getting a piece of it.
Yeah. So it could totally pull something out and completely flip the way you're trying to say something.
Absolutely.
So you have less ownership in how your content's being portrayed. And because of that, like your brand could be also being diluted. It's removing your tone, your voice, your positioning. You can't actually articulate your opinion or your voice in a single sentence that it's pulling out onto this page. So that all of that is kind of causing a lot of frustration. But the biggest issue, I would say, and the reason why big companies are pushing for it is the loss of ad revenue. So content-heavy websites like media companies, bloggers, they make money when people click through and view the ads on their page. But the AI overviews are answering these questions directly on Google, and it's eliminating the click. And so when that click disappears, so does the ad revenue. So it's really frustrating for people who depend on those clicks. Like they need the clicks to get traffic.
Yep.
And then the other thing is that there's a lot of really big noise from the UK because their privacy and data laws are a lot stricter. So a lot of times the stuff will start overseas and then come over to us too. And so from the US standpoint. And so, AI is basically, it's just, there's a lot of concern about how this data is being scraped and then used. And so they're putting some really big pressure on Google to make sure that people have a say in this and that they can actually opt out.
And so this is, how do you do that then? I guess, how do you opt out? Is it within your Google business profile?
We don't know yet because it's not there.
They haven't talked
They haven't actually done it. So there's been a few things out there where people have been like, would you opt out if Google allowed this? And like taking some polls. And there's like a third of people that are like, yep, I'd opt out of it. I don't, like for us, I wouldn't, like as a business.
Like our business.
Yeah. A lot
so
of
what's your stance then?
I would
overall?
say like our content isn't, our content is educational. It's marketing. It's like, if we were in a space where like the political voices and like, you know, there's certain things like that where you can be misconstrued in a really bad way, or
if they don't,
it can cause like, huge brand trust issues.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's like, I'm not seeing that or feeling like that's ever going to happen with our content. Like you can't, I don't think anyone's going to be pissed at us because it pulled out a single sentence from a Gmail signature blog. Like,
right. We're not like, we're not saving lives. We're not, making a difference in the world.
So
we're making a difference in small businesses world, but not in the world. Yeah.
So we haven't like experienced that. And I think there's still this huge opportunity for brand visibility, even if people don't click. And the search is becoming more visual. So like your favicon is really big. Your brand name is bolded. Like just having that presence in the AI overviews and the repetition. So if you show up there often when people are searching for content that like our audience is likely searching for the same types of content that we might be creating. So if they start seeing us all the time visually, they might be like, oh, I recognize that company. I'm going to click on them because I trust them. So I think it's bringing more awareness, even if you're not seeing the clicks.
Right.
So I still feel like the AI overviews they're going to show up on top. And if you opt out, then you are relying on only those links and losing some opportunity for visibility.
Yeah. I mean, because those aren't going away anytime soon. Yeah. Anyways.
But we don't run ads on our website either.
True. So we don't feel that effect. Right.
Yes.
Search is volatile right now. So can you tell the audience what exactly that means?
So this is kind of goes back to the core algorithm update. So when people talk about search volatility, basically all this means is that your rankings are shifting more than usual. So rankings meaning where you sit on a search page. You honestly probably wouldn't even notice this if you weren't using a ranking tool. So if you weren't using like Ubersuggest, SEMrush, Ahrefs to actually track your keywords. So for example, we sit on page 1 for this keyword and we sit at position 5. So if like you count the blue clickable links down the page, that would be position 5. So if I see within a week that I went from 5 to 35 and then the week after that I bounce back to 12, that's kind of like a volatile search environment. Like you are bouncing around a lot within a short period of time. And when a lot of people's rankings do that, or a specific industry or something like that, that's where it just is a more volatile environment. And usually that indicates that there's an algorithm update happening on the back end.
That's kind of how people can track.
That's how they guess it.
Something's happening. Yeah.
So in the show notes, we'll link, SEMrush has a little sensor tool where you can actually track online to see like how volatile the industry is at any given time. So you can always peek at that. This is why I'm not a fan of like weekly tracking your keywords.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of tools that will give you weekly reports, like position tracking. Here's where you sit this
that would
week.
drive me nuts. That's like tracking like followers or likes
it is.
on Instagram.
It
it's
is
a vanity.
It's a vanity metric of SEO. And I have like not that many clients, but a handful of clients who will forward me emails and be like, I just dropped to page 3 and I was on page 1. And it's like, yes, just for right now though. Like, how about you look at this over a 30-day period at minimum? Like there's too many things that happen day to day and week to week that it's too hard to actually get any clarity on what changes matter without looking at like a larger time frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the big thing is that when things are really volatile, it doesn't mean that you need to be like, whoa, this specific keyword. So say DIY SEO course. 1 week we dropped to 40. I'm not going to go into our sales page and make a ton of changes.
Right.
And then republish it and then pray that it bounces back. I'm just going to give it another couple weeks and see what happens.
Right.
Because I bet you it'll bounce right back up. So these are things where you could just be wasting your time chasing your tail. And it's like someone grabbed your hat and is running around and you're just chasing them and you don't know like what they're going to do with it.
Right. Or if you can catch them or.
Yeah, you know? So it's like, just give it some time. If you dropped and 30 days later you stayed there, then yeah, now it's time to maybe make some updates because clearly something happened. But week to week, day to day, do not track it.
Yeah.
You'll go
Make
crazy.
you want to stab your eyes up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so the next thing that's kind of new that's happening right now that you might see if you are on a free plan of ChatGPT is that ads are now inside. So OpenAI, which is the maker, owner, creator of ChatGPT, announced that they're going to begin testing advertising. This is not like a shock.
No.
Ads were coming. This is a free tool. That's the whole point. That's how you make a lot of money.
Free tools are going to start taking on ads.
They're either going to start charging you or they're going to start taking on ads. So specifically, they're testing this on the free plan in the new Go tier. So they're not a part of paid plans yet. So if you are on a paid plan, you're probably not seeing them. If you're on a free plan, you might start to see them. And the important thing is that they show up separate. So it's not embedded into the answer. It's not going to change the way AI is answering the question. It's very clearly separately being marked. So they're labeled after the AI answer.
But it still comes in your answer. So you ask AI something?
No,
okay.
It's going to be like, so basically if you asked a question, like, I'm just going to stick with the recipe situation. If you asked a question like, hey, I have these ingredients, make me a recipe, blah, blah, blah. So it will spit out the recipe and then say someone is paying like for a sponsored ad for a can of tomatoes. Then after the recipe is done and it's finished its chat, after that, there'll be a little space of like sponsored, go buy Hunt's tomatoes at Target, whatever.
Okay.
So like that would pop in afterwards as an ingredient that is mentioned in the recipe, but not in the recipe. It's not like a clickable link within the recipe.
Right.
It's very clearly separate.
Okay. Interesting.
So that, I think they need to make sure that it's clearly labeled separately, because if it's a part of the answer, people will start to question whether that answer is like authentic. Is that actually the real answer? Is that what you would tell me? Or are you just doing it because of ad dollars?
So do you think that they will keep it this format, or do you think eventually sometime they might start testing, like you're going to have a pop-up ad and you have to, watch it for 3 seconds, or
maybe? I don't know.
Because this seems like a not like aggressive ad approach, which is nice, because I think sometimes people get really turned off by ads. So if it's just like you have this recipe and then you have an ad for like an ingredient in it, like to me that's like maybe even a little bit refreshing, or like
I think that's a goal. Yeah,
it's not like bam in your face and then you get pissed at the platform and then you bounce off because you're like, oh, ads.
I mean, I just did. So the other day I used ChatGPT because I needed basically, we're about to have 3 kids, and I have a forerunner that
basically she's about to have 3 kids. No, she is about to have 3 kids.
Somehow they have to fit into my vehicle. And so the back seat of our car, we have to fit 3 car seats side by side. I cannot tell you how long I've been looking at stupid booster seats that will like be a certain depth and width, like that fit in the car, 3 car seats side by side. So I'm like Googling this stuff and then looking at specs and then being like, well, that one won't work. It's too big, blah, blah, blah. And so finally I was like, what am I doing? And I went to chat and I said, I need 2 booster seats with high backs for these age kids, and it needs to be less than 17 inches wide. And it spit me out a bunch of answers. And then I literally bought it within 30 minutes. Like I found the car seat I needed, bought it within 30 minutes, and it never came up in my Google searches. Like,
wow. Yeah.
Like that one option didn't. And so I could see like in a result like that, I wouldn't be mad about a sponsored post, but it better freaking answer my question. Because if I click on that sponsored post and it's more than 17 inches, I'd be pissed. I'd be like
it needs to solve the problem.
So I think they have to do a really, really good job of making sure that the sponsored content fits into the question people are asking. Because if it doesn't, there's no way they'll perform. And the whole point of it is to show performance to the people paying the dollars. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, that is in the free version. So if you play around with it and you start to see it, just take note of what's showing up there. Okay, so that's kind of like the big gist of like what's happening. There's a few additional things that we've noticed just over like looking at the results of our clients, of what's working, of what content of ours is working. And I would say the biggest thing is Google is really doubling down on helpfulness over volume. So pumping out quantity is easier, like quantity of content is easier than ever because of AI. Like you can create a blog post in 5 minutes. Doesn't mean it's good, but you can. And so it's less about volume of like, I need to post a blog a week. And it's more about creating really helpful content. So I'd encourage you to spend time optimizing your old content rather than just creating new. I'd rather you, if you historically have been like writing 3 blogs a week or 4 blogs a week, I would rather you do 1 new blog a month and then optimize 3 old blogs. Like, I think that approach is going to be so much more beneficial than actually just continuing to create new after new after new.
Yep.
As long as the old content is relevant. If it's not relevant anymore, then scrap it. Get rid of it.
But if you have, old content that like performed really well in the past or continues to perform well, just re-optimizing that.
So a lot of the content that's actually getting removed from the first page of Google is ending up being the content that is thin, like low word count, not relevant, outdated. And that's the content that you're going to lose traction on. So again, using your own analytical tools to see what content is performing, what's old, what's relevant. Like there are plenty. some of our top posts are Instagram related. Like it's Instagram reel ideas, Instagram strategies.
Which isn't really relatable to what we do anymore.
No. I know it's outdated, but I'm not going to spend time to update it because it's not relevant to us anymore.
Yes.
So there's things like that where you have to make the decision based on your business too of like, okay, should I modify this? And I'm sure there is a way that we can modify that content.
To spin it.
Yeah. To speak to the importance of branding on social and your voice and like all of that, or using SEO on Instagram or, you know, like I'm sure there's a way to do it. It's just not a huge priority. So again, you still have to like use your own brain of like, okay, this is the content I actually want to optimize and fix. Authority is becoming more brand driven.
This is what I love to hear.
No. So Google and AI tools are relying more on recognizable brands, consistent messaging, and topical authority. So in other words, it's not just about the keywords anymore. It's actually about who is saying it. And finally, local search is kind of still living in this traditional search world. So AI hasn't quite figured out how to incorporate local requests. So for example, find me a coffee shop that has a patio that also has Wi-Fi that also like is 5 minutes from my house. I would say that it's like trying to get there, but it's just not quite there yet. So if you're a local business and you rely on local traffic, your Google business profile is still going to be number one. And you'll notice that a lot of local searches do not incorporate AI overviews at all. Like they're not up top. The very top thing on that search is maps and your Google business profile. So I am assuming that's going to change. And it will get smarter and better because I would love to be able to type that in.
I know, right? I'm actually kind of surprised. Yeah, it's not there yet, but I guess it's another kind of level of complexity.
Yes. Show me dog friendly. Show me kids eat free.
Right.
Show me.
It just adds like some more layers of like
Courtney would be like, where do I park?
Oh my gosh, you guys, parking. Yes, I can't stand it. Anytime Abby and I get together for a working day, she's like, you want to go here? I'm like, sure, what is our parking situation? Because if it's zero or if I'm going to have to park downtown, then no, let's go somewhere else.
There was this cop, we went a couple, I don't know, it was probably a couple months ago, the one downtown where I was like, Courtney, meet me at this location and I will drive you downtown.
She picked me up, which I was very thankful for. Oh, stresses me out.
I was like, it's just not worth it. You go over there. I'll pick you up.
I'm like, thanks, Mom.
So quick little summary of everything. Basically, keep doing what you're doing. Like, I don't think anything we talked about today of what's new means that you need to switch your strategy or that you need to change what you do from an SEO
like
perspective.
Groundbreaking.
No, it's like really good to be knowledgeable about all of this stuff and understand what's happening and what's being worked on behind the scenes so that it's not like scary. And I always say like, it's good to be knowledgeable about it because you're going to see the fear-based headlines. And we don't want the fear-based headlines to like drive you.
Right. They shouldn't.
Yes.
No.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't drive you to like make a decision to all of a sudden work with an agency that's going to charge you a stupid amount of money just to help you with GEO. Because if you're not doing GEO, then you're dying. And it's like, no. So
just remember the duo girls in the back of your brain.
Yes.
Let's say, just take a breath.
Yeah. Take a breath or ask us like, hey, should I worry about this?
Seriously. Yes.
So focus on quality and relevance within the content that you're creating. Focus on your audience. What do they want to see online? Your audience is who you want to find you anyways. You want to find more of the audience you already love. So ask some questions, send surveys out, capture content that they actually want to read, and then you will get the quantity of the other people that want to read it too.
Yep.
Focus on growing your authority and trust. So again, like building that brand authority, that recognizableness to you, and making sure that that's something that really shows up in that space. And also just make sure you're defining your own voice in this space too, because as you create content and as more and more people create content, AI is going to look for things that are unique and different, and you need to stand out, and your voice is how you do that. So these are the foundations that are going to help you see that long-term growth online, whether it's Google, ChatGPT, or some other platform. So really just keep doing what you're doing and consider this your little lesson on what's new in SEO today.
It's time for a refill. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Duo on Air.
If you loved hanging out with us today, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1, subscribe so you never miss a new episode.
2, share this episode with a biz bestie and tag us on Instagram at duo.collective.
And 3, leave a review because we love hearing from you.
Finally, keep sharing your episode ideas. We love creating content for you. Head over to duocollective.com to catch up on all the latest episodes, brand and website makeovers, SEO tips, and so much more.
See you there. Let's duo this thing called business together.